Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the hashtag lunchtime live draft. Welcome in. It is time to push aside all that mundane work, real life work, and get to some fantasy work because that's what we're here for. That's what keeps us going through the fall, into the winter, all the way up to the spring. And then guess what? At that point, the draft is right around the corner. A new year has begun, and we're ready to go for a whole new season of football because we get to argue about it all summer long until it actually is time to start shaking out. Maybe it's because I have one team that I'm finally going to tank in. It's my first real tank in dynasty. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to be doing in the future, but there's so much more to be happening right now. If you have a team like that one team that I'm describing that started 0-4, guess what you get to do? You get to jump into underdog fantasy and you get to have yourself a fantastic time going all out each week in all sorts of drafts. And not to mention, they have the resurrection coming up. It is a brand new uh, half season long best ball draft tournament. It's great. Your team hasn't been doing what you wanted. Guess what? Go get yourself into that resurrection. Have yourself a blast. It's a good time. Now, what we're here for, the live draft. The draft actually started a little bit sooner than I thought it did. So, boom, I just made my first pick out of the 4 spot. And I'm going to go ahead and pick up Dalvin Cook while I go ahead and get this set up so that everybody can see what's happening as we're doing our live draft here. We are doing a little bit of a rumble here. It is a tournament setup. It is 6 teams. It is, where's my share screen button? It is only 6 rounds. And we are flying through it already because we have, I think we're already into the second round here. We are whipping through it. Ooh, that is a great stack right there out of that 4th spot. But I need to get myself set up. I am gonna go after. It's not usually. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go the other half of that stack that's right in front of me. I think this Buffalo Kansas City game is going to be nuts. Oh no! I didn't take care of my queue. I'm gonna have to do another one after this because I ended up with Alvin Kamara, who I think is my number 2 running back. But I really, really wanted Stephon Diggs there, and of course he goes right there behind. I was about to say I really want to focus in on that Kansas City Buffalo game. Really excited. And oh, look at this. This guy already has the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack. That is absolutely beautiful right there. That is what I was definitely excited about. But we're gonna let that one pass. That's all right. That's a game that I'm super excited about. I do think that this week is a week where you can start 2 running backs and feel good about it. And having Cook and Kamara makes me feel pretty good about it. But usually, what I end up doing is taking 2 of the taking 2, really you have to take 2 wide receivers, but taking my flex as a wide receiver, giving myself 3 wide receivers to really be able to swing for the fences and put up dynamite points. So I am a pick away here, and I'm being left with. Ooh, do I go? I am not a fan of taking quarterbacks off the board here. Um, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go wide receiver. I think the best wide receiver left out there is Keenan Allen against Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and scoop up Keenan Allen. He's had a down week, but he's typically a decent scorer. And then at that point, I'm going to start really swinging away at some high upside options. I'm eyeballing Adam Thielen. I'm eyeballing Terry McLaurin. And I'm also eyeballing DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like he's gotten really each week it seems like he's gone down in points after his first week where he looked really good, but he's continuing to get targets. He's being targeted 6, 7, 8 times a game. That's a good look. It's just a matter of him actually doing something with it. And again, this game, Arizona and San Francisco, is another one that I would be targeting. I am also looking at a guy like Debo Samuel, who's been doing really well. It kind of hurts me a little bit because I was so big on Ayuk, and Ayuk has done nothing, absolutely nothing. So it hurts the soul a little bit that Debo's doing so great and Ayuk is doing nothing. But both of those could be really good options there for me. I could also pivot here and let's see. Wow, he went Dawson Knox there, leaving me with Hawkinson. I might do that pivot and go after either Kittle or Hawkinson. And probably Hawkinson against a matchup that will probably lead to a bunch of passing. I think I'm going to make that tight end switch and try and capitalize on, on a game that I think is going to go really down. I don't want to say down to the wire with Detroit, but it's a game that I think is going to be a relatively high scoring endeavor. Minnesota's defense is decent, but they're not extraordinary. They're kind of middle of the pack. And that's a game that I think that Detroit, I'm not going to say that they could win, but it's a game that they could be able to put up points. Minnesota is giving up, they're giving up points to, running backs, wide receivers. They're kind of middle of the pack against tight end. But when you have Hawkinson, who basically is the number one wide receiver for them outside of Quintez Cephas, we'll go ahead and take that chance and see how we're doing. Let's go ahead and share this link out to a couple peoples. And before we do that, we are on the clock. Better make sure we make that pick quickly. Oh no, both of my guys went that I wanted. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up Dak Prescott against the Giants. That to me is a game that I think the Cowboys win relatively easily. But it is a game where the Cowboys have been giving up. They've been giving up a ton of points to the wide receivers and quarterbacks. But then again, so have the Giants. Giants haven't given up the ton to wide receivers, but they've given up the fourth most to tight ends. So hey, maybe my tight end move should have been Blake Jarwin, but I'm still feeling real happy about that deck pick up there. And I'm going to be back on the clock right now and looking at my wide receiver spot. And you know what? I don't think it's a bad move here, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and scoop up. Amari Cooper. He's a boomer bust type of guy. I know people say that a lot, but he is a boomer bust type of guy that booms pretty frequently. So I'm going to go ahead and scoop him up and hope that I get that boom game out of him. And let's see, that's going to basically close up this quick little draft. I really like doing I like doing these types of drafts. It was the Battle Royale in week 5. I don't know if I said that already. It's a $5 entry. And it's just a good little setup the way that they have it designed. You get your 6 players against 6 teams. And let's go into the draft here because I like getting a look at the board one last time. Oh, come on. Don't start slowing down now. There we go. Let's see what they got for me here. Projected at 95 points. Let's see how the other teams are kind of looking. Come on now. Where'd you go? I don't want to swap my rankings. I want to jump into that game. Why is it not working for me? Oh, well. But we'll jump into that in a minute. I want to show one more thing that you can do. And I realized that I wasn't even sharing the right screen. I'm going to show you one more thing that you can do with Underdog because it's a great time. And let me make sure I'm sharing that screen. See, this is the problem with doing these solo ones. I got to do all the work, but it's all right. We're going to give you what you want, what you need. So let's go to the lobby here. All right, this is your underdog lobby. If you haven't jumped in this yet, you need to, and you need to do it using the promo code FAQS. That's FAQS. We will match your first $10 deposit, get you a little extra money so that you can play around with. One of the cool things that Underdog is set up that you should be taking advantage of, especially if you live in New York State like I do, where for some reason they don't allow you to place bets, but you can do awesome things like this Pick'em. Pick'em allows you to do prop bets on any player. So tonight's game, we have the Rams and the Seahawks. I think this game is going to, surprisingly for a Thursday night game, I guess, be a decent game. And actually, the Thursday night games haven't been that atrocious this year. So kudos to the schedulers. But it allows you to do your basic prop bets over or under. It gives you all the different guys here for the game. It allows you to go into all the different games so that you can see what's going on. Now, what I find really fun about this is, one, you can do these rivals. Who's going to have more total yards, Henderson or Kupp? Who knows? Let's go ahead and pick one, right? What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to go back to the over-unders here. I'm going to focus on this Thursday night game. And what I want to look at is these completions here for Stafford. If you look at what Stafford has done, whoa, don't do that. If you jump into Stafford's game log, you'll see that he's thrown for 26, 27, 19, and 20. And that was all the way back. In his most recent games where he's had some higher scoring games, he's been in 26, 27 range. I think in order for them to compete with Seattle, he's going to hit that 26 and over. It's a bit of a stretch, but I think in order for them to be able to win this game, he's going to have to throw the ball, and those completions are going to come. So I'm going to go with over here. It's a bit of a stretch, and now that I'm looking at it a little bit more, I'm thinking maybe I should go with the under. But I'm going to smash the over because it's a Thursday night game, and what the hell? And we're going to see why in just a minute. If we look at Russell Wilson, I think is an even is another one here. 24 and a half completions. If you look at his past games, 16, 23, 22, 18, I don't think that he's going to need to have quite so many completions. I think I'm going to go on the under here. So I'm going to go over with Stafford, under with Russell Wilson. And then what's great is I can go ahead and put my max bid in. If I only want to do 2 picks, you got to do at least 2. It's going to multiply it by 3. If I do 5 picks, it's going to multiply it by 20. And I can put in whatever amount I want. If I want to do a 5-leg type of parlay, only for $1, I can do that. I'm going to go ahead and drop $5 on this Thursday night game. Go ahead and click submit. Look how easy that is. Boom. There it is. There's my pick. I'm going to share that out right now. Look at that. Copy that to Twitter. I'm going to drop that out to Twitter right now so that everybody can see that's the pick that I made. And I think those one of the funnest ways to jump into Underdog is just doing some of these over-under types of picks. I think the only caveat is you have to pick from 2 different teams, but it's a good time. Show me your slip. Hashtag show me your slip. We're going to make it a thing. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see what you're doing out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very busy day of work, unfortunately, and they're already calling me back. I'm seeing the alerts go on my work computer. Womp, 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 womp. But I'm excited I was able to jump in and get at least one draft in during this lunchtime live draft. I was able to get a pick in there. And again, make sure you go to Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code FAQS, that's FAQS. You'll get an extra $10 when you sign up. That $10 is perfect if you want to jump into something like the Resurrection. Again, it's a great, great tournament to jump into. You should definitely check it out. The Resurrection is there for you. They also have the Thursday Night Rumble. You can check that out as well. Best Ball Resurrection, though, $10. That free $10. That's a free entry right there. Free money. You could win the whole thing. Who knows? It would be amazing. Check it out. Join me later tonight on the GX Fantasy Facts podcast with my co-host at Dynasty_Pat. We're going to be breaking down, recapping week 4. You guys have already seen it. Moving into week 5. Check it out. It's going to be a great time. We're going live sometime around 9, between 9 and 9:30 tonight, depending on putting our kids down, because that FF at home dad is not a lie. I am a father staying at home doing my work. Hope to see you back here next week for the live draft. Hopefully I can get a few more drafts in next week. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, catch you on the flip side.